10 most underrated movies of the past decade, ranked. A lot of fantastic movies are released in any 10-year time span, and an unfortunate consequence is that some are going to slip under the radar. This could be for a myriad of reasons, from a poorly thought-out release date to a lack of social media buzz. Not to mention, in the streaming era, movies have become increasingly disposable, with viewers often craving the next new thing before even rolling credits on what they've just watched. Forgive me for sounding all old man yells at cloud, but over the last decade, I've seen plenty of must-watch flicks that have very quickly faded from public conversation. They may have been critically acclaimed, even award winners, but a couple of months, even just weeks, later, and they're already forgotten, left to rot in a streaming service library or on a dusty DVD shelf. After compiling my picks for the 10 greatest movies of the past decade last month, now I'm shifting my attention to the 10 that have become a little bit overlooked. To clarify, these certainly aren't the only movies released between 2015 and 2025 that are underrated. Including them all would stretch this list well into the triple digits. But these are 10 movies that have faded into the background, and I believe deserve to have the spotlight back on them. One of the biggest compliments I can give theater camp is that I didn't grow up a theater kid and still found this mockumentary, which lovingly lampoons all things stagey, an absolute hoot. Co-directed by Booksmart's Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman, who also wrote the screenplay alongside Noah Galvin and Ben Platt, a Tony Award winner for the title role and Dear Evan Hansen. You can tell everybody involved absolutely loves the theatrical craft, and this leads to a movie that celebrates and pokes fun at the art form. Set within a rundown theater camp in upstate New York, it sees a clueless tech bro, Jimmy Tatro, roped in to run the camp after his theater-obsessed mother slips into a coma following a stage lights mishap. He's ill-suited for the role and confused by camp's quirky band of counselors, Gordon, Galvin, Platt among them. But over the summer, they band together in an attempt to stage a theatrical masterpiece to keep the camp afloat. Oh, and Ao Edebiri features in a small role, which is always a huge bonus for me. Buy or rent Theater Camp on Amazon. Now, it might seem questionable to include a movie directed by Martin Scorsese in this list. After all, when a flick comes from one of the greatest filmmakers in history, can it be considered underrated? But that just speaks to the quality of Silence, because this epic historical drama should be ranked among his best works, and is often overlooked in favor of Scorsese's more commercially successful work. It's thoughtful, sometimes unsettling, and anchored by career-best performances from Andrew Garfield, Adam Driver, and Liam Neeson. Silence follows two Jesuit priests, Garfield and Driver, as they venture to 17th-century Japan in search of their missing mentor, Neeson, who is rumored to have renounced his faith. Arriving in the region, they discover that villagers are forced to worship in secret for fear of being caught by the ruling lords, who are torturing Christians into submission. Considering weighty themes and visually stunning, Silence is a Scorsese masterpiece. 10 most underrated movies of the past decade. Ranked Tom's guide Brad Pitt plays Roy McBride, an astronaut with abandonment issues, after his father went missing in deep space some 30 years ago. But when a mysterious power surge threatens life in our solar system, McBride is sent on a mission to discover the cause, which may give him the answers about his missing father that he's been desperately craving for years. Don't expect a twisting narrative full of shocking moments, but Ad Astra is still quite the intergalactic voyage. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck team up with director Ridley Scott for a different kind of historical epic, also featuring Jodie Comer and Adam Driver. It's inspired by real events and tells a story of honor, justice, and the importance of the truth. Its most interesting aspect is how the narrative is set up. Viewers are shown the same events from the perspectives of its three main characters. This creates a very compelling conflict as our perception of the on-screen events shifts as each character tells their side of the story. Jean de Caroux, Damon, and Jacques, Driver, are two friends who turn into bitter rivals and subsequently are compelled to fight a bloody duel to the death. The reason for this brutal confrontation comes when Jacques is accused of sexually assaulting Jean's wife, Marguerite Comer. The narrative itself has something of a soap opera quality about it, but it's the way it's presented that really makes The Last Duel so much more absorbing. Saoirse Ronan stars in this 19th-century set heart-aching drama. And no, I'm not talking about Brooklyn, though that is a fantastic movie, but not quite underrated enough to make the cut. Instead, it's On Chesil Beach, which didn't get the attention it deserved when it was released in 2017. Perhaps it's the fact that Chesil Beach is an undoubtedly heavy watch, centered on a relationship fraught with heartbreak. Nevertheless, as you'd probably guess, Ronan gives a stunning performance, and that's reason enough to watch. Opening in 1962, Edward, Billy Howe, and Florence, Ronan, meet and quickly fall in love. Despite their differences, both in interests and social backgrounds, they marry and honeymoon at the eponymous beach in southwest England. What should be the start of their happy union instead sees deep cracks begin to splinter their relationship, which could spell the end of their marriage before it's even truly begun. Just make sure you're in the right mood for this one because it's not a romantic drama that will warm your soul.